Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy Wednesday. It's a short work week. We have a special Independence Day holiday that starts tomorrow. But I do want to mention to you this morning that we've got temperatures that are in the 70s, low 70s, I might add. 71 in Knoxville, 71 in Wartburg and Newport. We've got 72 in Oneida this morning and Crossville. While it may be in the 60s in some parts of the area, I'm looking at Athens 66, Maryville 69, and it is a touch more humid, but it will only increase. That humidity will increase today, so you've got dew points right now that are in the low to mid 60s as a general rule. There are some exceptions. I'm looking at Greenville, Oneida in the upper 50s, so the comfort level will decrease as the day wears on, and gradually it's going to get hotter today, so be prepared for more heat and humidity across the board. What about fog? I know we talk a lot about fog during the month of August, but it's still July. Visibility is not, I repeat, not an issue, appears at least this morning, and nor do I expect it to be a problem tomorrow. But visibility usually listed there in miles at 10. That's the maximum you'll see. Let's talk about fireworks. Let's talk about Mother Nature's fireworks, because during the day tomorrow there will be the risk for some showers and thunderstorms to develop. Not everywhere, just a 40% chance, so it's not a zero. Outside of the stormy potential, we're talking about a hot, hazy day. Hot like a firecracker. I think 94 is probably conservative at this point. Mid-90s will be more common than not. And it will be humid. It'll be awfully sticky during fireworks. But again, what do you expect? It's the 4th of July. This is the time when maybe your tomatoes are ready to come off the vine and you're ready to get into the cucumbers, all the rest. I don't know where you stand on the garden, but I know the storminess will likely fade with the setting sun on Thursday evening. So if there are some showers where you are, fear not. I think by the time we hit 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, there'll be nothing left. We'll be in the 80s, but the overnight lows will stay rather stuffy, around 75 degrees. If you're on the call, just want to say good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It's kind of like a Thursday, almost Friday type of situation, because tomorrow's holiday and people probably have checked out. If that's the case, glad that you're with me. Want to say good morning to you. Fred's on here. Do I have Fred? I think I put Fred on the screen. Let me check if I come back onto the camera here, because I got to check my system here, make sure I have everything I need on my screen. Let's see here. Oh, to get Fred on my screen, I have to just click this post here and then grab this here. And oh, I forgot to do YouTube too, because I want YouTube. If you're on Facebook, love to see your comments. But if you're on YouTube, let me know as well, because I want to be able to put your comment on the screen. Let's go back on camera here and finally see. Oh, Fred. Fred's on here. He's here to say hello. Let's put him on the screen here. Voila. Fred says, y'all have a safe and fun 4th of July. Glad to have Fred on here. Beautiful sunrise he's mentioning too. Fred's got 2 comments this morning. He's not only in Maryville, but he's giving us a good idea that the sunrise this morning is in fact pretty nice. Glad to have you here, Fred, as we continue on through the weather forecast. I want to check your comments as you head through the morning as well. Ultimate Doppler radar, presented by your local Marco's Pizza, is nothing to see. Nothing to see, but there could be some drizzle later today. We'll talk about that here momentarily. But if you are making lunch plans today, may I suggest Marcos.com is a wonderful option. If you're in Hardin Valley or Farragut, maybe you're in Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. They're now under new ownership, new leadership, better than ever. And of course, they are corporate sponsors of No Kid Hungry. They give back quite a bit to the community, local community where they are. And by the way, the Magnifico, Pepperoni Magnifico is one of their best options if you're a pepperoni fan. Less than $10 for a limited time. And the new Pozzoli. Yes, the new Pozzoli, less than $6 for a limited time. I recommend the pepperoni and sausage. I love that as a lunch option. If that's something you're thinking about. By the way, the radar shows we've got heat concerns in the other parts of the state. Heat advisory in orange, excessive heat warning in purple or fuchsia in Memphis and Little Rock. So those are the areas where it's going to be exceedingly hot. While it may be 93 here today, they've got obviously some storminess concerns. Looks like they've got some flash flooding right through the central part of Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, flash flooding that goes on until 8:30 this morning in parts of Missouri. There's Montgomery County here that just newly was issued. That runs till 8:30 as well. But the excessive heat warning in places like Fayette County and Shelby County, Memphis area, certainly a very hot day expected there, where the heat indices will be well over 100. So make sure you plan accordingly if you are traveling on this holiday weekend. By the way, you can see more rain across parts of Missouri, certainly into Illinois and parts of the Great Lakes moving up toward Canada. Further south, you'll see more thunderstorms moving across Kansas and across parts of the far south and west. All right, high temperatures on June. I just want to kind of recap. We had 2 weeks. 14 days, I can do the counting for you, 14 days of 90 or plus, 90 or higher. Hottest day so far this year has been the 26th of June when we hit 95. Haven't done that since June 6th of 2022, so it was almost 2 years to the day since last time we hit 95. I think we're going to be pretty close to that today. We'll be 93. I think we'll be 93 or at least 94 tomorrow. So we're in that range where if you like the heat, you like the humidity, congratulations, you've made it to the hottest day, time frame of the year, because this is usually what you expect. But July, we only hit 87 on the first day, which was Monday. And yesterday, officially, we hit 92, which is a good transition, because I know our normal high and low is 88.68. Our record high today is 99 from 1925. I don't know too many of us who remember that year, but 56 degrees, the record low. You got to go all the way back to 1918 and 1885. So there you have it. Those are some updates. By the way, there were 2 tornadoes yesterday in Iowa. And we're all, of course, watching Hurricane Beryl, which is likely to have the biggest impact on Jamaica today, Cayman Islands later tonight and into tomorrow. So there's a lot of concern for hurricanes for travelers that might be in or around Jamaica or the Cayman Islands. We'll talk about that here in just a few moments. By the way, 15 days, if you're keeping score, keeping track of what's going on as far as 90-degree days, that's almost to the point where we were last year. All of last year, only 18. Typically, as you can see on the second line of my banner there, averages 34. So we were almost half a summer last year, but we're on track to be on probably closer to 2022, the way things are trending right now. I have not made too many changes in my expectation. I think there's still a lot of heat and humidity on the way, but there will be an occasional pullback like we had on Monday. Now, as far as the 90-degree days, is there anything consistent here? The answer is no. That's one of the nice things about weather. It's always changing. You can have 77 90-degree days in 2010, and then a couple years later, it was very rainy in 2013. We just barely got to 11. 11 days at 90 in 2013. So, and then it was only 18 days in 2017. So it does go back and forth. And if you're keeping score, average versus 2024, we normally see a week in June, usually see the most number of 90-degree days in July. That averages about 12 from our friends at the National Weather Service in Morristown. That's how we get to 34. Again, not every year has to be average. Some years are below, like last year. Some years are above, like the 2 years prior. And so far, one day in July, today will be day number 2. And we know will be day number 3 in July on the Independence Day itself. So again, thanks to our friends at Morristown National Weather Service. By the way, the clouds and radar are not showing much here. As I check some of the comments, I want to say hi to you if you're on the call. I want to say good morning to you. Wanda Poe is on here. I want to say hi to Wanda. She's pointing out, she says, good morning, David. Hope everyone has a good 4th of July and stay safe. Absolutely. Make sure your pets are hydrated if they're going to be outside. Make sure you check on your neighbors, old and young. Chip Smith is on here. I want to say good morning to Chip. He's going to be on the big screen. Let's put Chip on here. He's also on Facebook. He says good morning and happy 4th of July. And Jennifer is on here as well. Give her a shout out as she's on the screen. She says hello. She keeps it simple. Jennifer, thank you for being on here as we'll continue to monitor on a holiday week. A lot of folks are kind of mentally checked out, I think, on this middle of this week. Meanwhile, winds aren't moving much today. I think they're about 5 to 10 from the southwest this afternoon, but certainly light and variable at this particular time. By the way, time now is 6:50. The time is 6:50. My goal is to be done here in 10 minutes or less. Temperature right now is 79 in Nashville and Memphis. Is it any wonder they're under heat advisories and excessive heat warnings in Middle and West Tennessee? They're 8 degrees warmer than we are, even at this hour. Imagine that. And they're an hour behind us, right? Because it's, well, I guess 5:50 Central Time right now. But 79 in Jackson, 80 in Bowling Green, and they're starting off in Tupelo, Mississippi at 82 degrees here on a Wednesday morning, the 3rd of July. You can see the colors in green, dark green, are getting increasingly sticky. 70s in Huntsville, Jackson. These dew points are the best measure of how sticky and humid it feels. We could just call it stuffy. That stuffy air is headed in this direction. So it's going to feel more uncomfortable rather than comfortable heading into over time. Some of these numbers don't even populate because dew points are so low, they don't even have a number for Asheville and Johnson City as far as it feels like, because whatever the temperature is in Asheville is the temperature. That's how it feels. But again, perception is what the feels like or heat index really indicates, and it feels like it's 82 currently in Nashville and Bowling Green, for example. And let's talk about the humidity because it's coming back. By midday today, you're like, oh man, I'm just not a fan. And if that's true, it probably won't pull back until probably Saturday afternoon. You'll probably have to wait from between this afternoon all the way to Saturday afternoon to see the humidity pull back a little bit. And it's just a brief period. It doesn't really make that much difference. It's all relatively speaking. But the humidity stays with us right through 5 o'clock this afternoon. The darker green areas stick around from Memphis, Jackson, Nashville, and Knoxville by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is, of course, the 4th of July. So it stays stuffy into the afternoon. We've got some pop-up showers and storms, and even during fireworks, it's icky and sticky. But again, some love it. Some say, I don't like the mosquitoes. I get it. It's all part of summer, but by 5 o'clock Friday, it's still humid and maybe a pullback on Saturday afternoon. But we've got to get you ready for today. Hot and humid and hazy with some drizzle possible. I think the best chance for maybe some drizzle will be the plateau. West of I-75 has a fair game. Get a little speck. Maybe it's just some extra clouds, but either way, that should occur probably before 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I think by the time we hit 5 p.m., there's no drizzle to be found. It's just going to be a hot day. 93 in the shade will feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s today, so make sure you pace yourself for sure. Clouds aren't showing up much here, but we know the sun came up at 6:25 now. Oh, yeah, but the sunset has been unchanged for the last few days. It's still 8:56, but that too will soon change because by the time we get into mid-August, it's probably going down before 8:30. So we're going to say goodbye to the longer days heading into the next couple of months. That will be more noticeable than it is perhaps today. By the way, it's July 3rd. We go out the door. We're talking about temperatures by 10 o'clock, 81. By 2 o'clock should be around 90 degrees. I got another note here. I'm going to put some other friends on screen here. I want to say hello to my friend Carrie. Carrie's on here. Let's send her note up on screen. I don't think it'll block. No, it's not going to block the screen there. Everyone have a fantabulous, safe, and hydrated 4th and weekend. Thank you so much, Carrie. She's so very thoughtful. I love the word fantabulous because I think that probably describes the way today could be. Certainly for sure. I got a note from Brandy. Good morning, Brandy. She's on here. Let's give her a big shout out. Good morning from Wartburg. Great to have a Morgan County representative showing up on screen. But Brandy, thank you for being here. And Wanda Poe, hope it's cooler next month. She says it's time for Tennessee football very soon. No doubt about that. Can you believe it's hardly? Soon we'll be here before you know it. And a big old shout out to our Vols national title champions in baseball. Of course, Danny feedback saying good morning to the Vols as well. So very thankful for all of you as we continue on our out to the door forecast. Let me get to the nuts and bolts because this is probably the map you've been waiting for. 92 today in Oak Ridge, 93 Newport. These are my expectations. And again, these are in the shade, my friend. That's how the temperature's measured. If you're measuring this it in the sun because you're in the sun, you're actually putting your thumb on the scale. You're actually measuring more than just the air temperature. You're feeling like the solar radiation. All of it can make it feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s. So make sure you take that into consideration and maybe pack a water bottle wherever you go. 95 for today in Tellico Plains. Let's talk about tropics. I mentioned Jamaica will be feeling the worst of this, life-threatening winds and storm surge will be hitting Jamaica today. Winds about 145, so that makes it squarely a Category 4, but remember this time yesterday, Burl had winds of 165. It was a Category 5 monster, and anything that's a Category 3 or higher, we call a major hurricane. And let's take a look at where Burl is right now. You can see the specifics at the top of the screen. Pressure's at 946 millibars. It's got max winds of 145. And there's Kingston. You're looking at Jamaica there, and on the left side of Kingston, you've got the Cayman Islands. So they'll be feeling the effects of this heading into tonight and on the 4th of July. So they get pounded on the southern side of the island, especially. Then it moves across maybe near Cancun, the Yucatan Peninsula, and then it's South Texas. Early next week, that we'll need to watch this storm very closely. My expectation is it's going to have its worst effects south of Corpus Christi. I do think it's going to hit mainly squarely into parts of Mexico because steering winds may take it there, but there are a few, to be fair, there are some models that want to take it into South Texas. We'll keep an eye on that. But if it moves squarely into Mexico, Houston should be spared the worst of this storm that is Beryl. This is, again, the second named storm on the list. Could we get a new storm? 20% chance says yes. The Hurricane Center has the yellow areas there, and a 50% chance there in the Pacific that something new forms, but they use a different set of names in the Pacific. Our hurricane season will only ramp up between now and, say, September. August and September, a pretty busy month, no doubt, for sure. As far as our tropical names, we've already gone through Alberto. Chris was one of these easy-to-miss storms as it followed the similar path that Alberto did. It hit Mexico. And, of course, Beryl is active now on the map as we continue to watch our friends down to the south because they're getting hit pretty hard. By the way, I want to say good morning to Yolanda. She says good morning. Good morning, Yolanda, from Cumberland County. And our friend Roberta, that's what she's saying hello to. Good morning. Have a great holiday weekend. Glad to have Roberta here. As many of you are watching live, very thankful. Getting more comments, I think, when they can see their name up there and see your little avatar. I love it. If you're on YouTube, let me know. I'd love to say good morning to you as well. As I'm checking both platforms today. Yes, I got Steve Stone. He's on here. He's on YouTube. I do know I can represent YouTube as well. See, where's Steve on there? He might be showing up. Let's see here. Did I get him? You know, it's funny because sometimes my setting doesn't always line up. Yep, there it is. I think I can get Steve on now. Steve was one of these. He's my YouTuber who's might be populating here in a moment. We'll get to him in just a second as my system continues to calibrate is probably the right word I'm trying to think of. By the way, if you're looking for a drop in humidity, look at the 5,000-foot temperatures change as we head into Saturday, because tomorrow, of course, is the 4th of July, and it stays hot like a firecracker right through the afternoon. You can see all that orange right there at 5 p.m. But as we head into the day on Saturday, notice the green areas, the cooler air moves over Chicago, Minneapolis. This certainly represents less humid air, as it will drop down from Chicago and St. Louis, perhaps into the Knoxville area, ever so briefly on Saturday afternoon. But then it retreats. Like I said, everything's relative. We're just not going to see a whole lot of change in the pattern. After all, it is July. It is now 6:58. I'm going to be running a little late here, but hazy, hot, and humid today. 3 H's and storms for Independence Day, 40% chance, and more storms developing on Friday. I think the wettest period of time will be Friday night. By the way, right now, 70 degrees our current temperature. 70 feels like 70 because we have a dew point of 65, but that number, 65, will increase today as our temperatures rise into the lower to mid-90s. Hazy, hot, and humid. I think the best chance for drizzle will be in the plateau. Precipitation chances, I've spiked it to 80% on Friday evening, but then it's only a 30% chance once the sun comes up on Saturday. I've removed the chance of rain on Sunday, so there's more improvement there. But then later in the afternoon on Monday, we're back to 60%, and so it goes. So that's what I expect to find in the short term. Let's talk about colors. The Storm Prediction Center, talking about some scattered severe storms possible on the day today. In yellow, we're talking about parts of Nebraska, parts of areas into South Dakota, and certainly areas in southern Illinois, southern Indiana, from Columbus back towards Springfield. These are the areas that will need to be watched in terms of some severe weather. Scattered severe storms are certainly possible. There's a good morning. I believe Steve's there. He's got his happy face and sunshine, and he's got his YouTube little icon there, so I do know he's on YouTube. Glad to have Steve here on the morning call. This for severe weather risk. This is for traveling purposes. We do not, I repeat, do not have any issues here, but there could be some drizzle where they put some green, light green areas. I think best chance will be the plateau and areas west of I-75. July 4th, that's tomorrow. What if you're traveling? If you're headed to, say, Kansas City, that's going to be, and St. Louis, some scattered severe storm prone areas, isolated severe storms for Oklahoma City, and it does grow down towards, say, parts of the plateau into the areas here in Knoxville. Let me go back and so if I can move that in. I think I moved it in too fast. Yeah, the areas that I'm most concerned about on Independence Day is going to be north and west of town. And here, as we zoom in a little bit tighter, you can see that includes Wartburg, Jellicoe, Jamestown, and Crossville for some isolated severe storms on Independence Day. By Friday, if we have any storms that are isolated severe, they're going to be in dark green from Lexington to Columbus, to Huntington, Charleston, West Virginia, and just maybe Jellicoe as well, because most of those darker green areas fade away from view here, but they do persist mainly in northern Campbell County from the lens of the Storm Prediction Center. Let's talk about the futurecast. It's now 7 o'clock straight up. You'll notice a little bit of model noise. This may correspond with some drizzle. I don't think this will verify in most cases, but by 5 o'clock it's already gone. Heading into 11 o'clock tonight, it's partly to mostly cloudy, but stuffy. And then heading into Independence Day, it's the afternoon. We could get a few pop-up storms, but by the time it gets to sunset, just around 9 p.m., it's all gone. So I don't think the rain will be an issue for fireworks and for those who are planning to launch the fireworks displays on Thursday night. Friday afternoon, different story. 60% chance. I think will only increase once that front comes by. That's why I've got some 80% chance of rain with that front sliding through town, and that's early in the morning on Saturday. Then it's gone, and then we'll see maybe a little bit of a pullback on the humidity, only to see some, of course the humidity will come back, it may have to wait until Sunday to see that be the case. Anyway, Futurecast shows our temperatures by midday today, already up to 86. So plan accordingly. You'll notice we've got hazy, hot, humid conditions. Temperatures today should reach about 93. That's my expectation. Some might flirt with a 94 here or there. Certainly it'll feel like that with the humidity. Heading into tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. It's stuffy. Most of the showers you can see are well up to the north into northern Kentucky. But once we move into 10 o'clock tomorrow, we're already in the mid-80s. By lunchtime, 89. And there is your lunchtime expectation for Independence Day. A couple of showers popping up in Crossville, perhaps around Wartburg, and then so it goes. We'll see some pop-up storms going through the area like so. Like I said, about a 40% chance, but I think all this will be gone as the sun begins to set because we'll lose the heat source. 93 for today, 3 H's, drizzle possible here at 7:02. And today, with a high of 95, that's nothing to sneeze at if you're in Tellico Plains, 90 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County, and 93 for La Follette. So a hot day indeed with more humidity. This is why Nashville and Memphis are under heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. Their air temperature should be around 99 apiece, but with the higher humidity, they'll feel like they're well over 100, 105 or more. So make sure you're pacing yourself if you have family there or if you're traveling in that direction. Stuffy tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. We're down to 74. And here is tonight's expectation. 70 for Sevierville, 71 for Newport, Seymour, Jefferson City, and say Dandridge. And low temperature in Moorestown, 72. 71 for Wartburg, and 73 for Kingston, Rockwood, and Harriman. Here is your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. I mentioned the chance of rain only ramps up Friday afternoon and Friday evening. I go from 60 to 80, and I have it dry on Sunday, but it still remains hot. And the rainstorms or showers and storms we get Monday should be a PM situation developing with the heating of the day. So there's where things stand at the moment. Want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. Thank you for the comments. I'm getting some great notes here from Roberta and Yolanda and Kay. Good morning to you. But just wanted to give you a shout out. By the way, if you are going to be out and about by the lake, by the pool this summer, all of the National Weather Service alerts are equipped on the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. See, you get weather and traffic local, all in the same app, plus you get the 3 alerts, plus 3 exclusive alerts, plus lightning alerts. So there's so many benefits to the free Captain Accurate Weather app. You can find it at the App Store and Google Play. If you're looking for more weather information, may I suggest the premium service we focus on beyond the next 7 days. We've been talking about the 4th of July forecast for almost about a month. Our premium members have been clued in. They've been in the know for quite some time. And if you like to be the first to see every forecast that I issue, premium is the place to be. You get more Facebook Lives every month. You get fewer ads. Yes, only 16 cents a day. That's $4.99 a month. So it's the best bargain in town for weather that you are planning. If you are someone that loves weather, you might want to check it out. You can always cancel at any time. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. Stay safe this holiday season and take care of yourself, and we'll see you here next time. Take care.